everyone. Welcome back to the Nintendo Prime Podcast. I believe episode 56. Maybe. I don't really know because I'm not actually here. This is a figment of your imagination. The show isn't real. I'm probably on some tropical island being chased down by Captain Jack Sparrow because I stole all his rum. So,
yeah,
I'm here, I guess, talking in two places at once. It's magic, movie magic. I am your host, as always, Nathaniel Rebel Janc. To my... Eric's not here yet again. I don't really know where he is, to be completely honest. I know he bought a new laptop, which you might see on the next episode. I helped him make that purchase. He's not happy because Best Buy lied to him on when it was going to be there, but he should have read the email. The website's not always the most reliable on time estimations. The emails usually give you what the info you need. Anyways, he'll have it for the next episode. But still, we do have our returning, basically a co-host at this point, Mr. Mike Perez from Nintendo Academy. We're in the Invincible shirt. How's it going, bud?
What's going on, everybody? Been good. Yeah, feeling invincible here with the shirt. I actually got this shirt from like a long time ago. The first mega super duper giveaway, like one of the sponsors gave me the shirt. Man, I wear it to this day. It's awesome.
Ah, dude, that's great. I don't get sponsors anymore. It's just
not. You don't get sponsors. You get mega sponsors. Got Capcom to send you codes for some.
Okay, so yeah, Prime Gaming Fest obviously had a lot of companies sending stuff.
A lot.
But Prime Gaming Fest is over, and now none of them talked to me. So I don't know if they were happy with the show. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll see what happens next year. I'll give it some time to cool off. But I mean, I might get a review code of whatchamacallit, the Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. In fact, at the time that this episode's live, the review code could be literally sitting in my inbox, and I wouldn't even know. So, there is that. It'll probably just go to Yulia, who just really likes Fire Emblem Warriors anyways. But, yeah, it's kind of a weird episode, guys, because this episode was obviously recorded before I went on my vacation. For those who don't know, I'm on a cruise. I'm out in the middle of the Bahamas somewhere doing God knows what with Yulia. My children are with my sister for the week. So it's a bit of an interesting episode since it was recorded ahead of time. So we can't really be recording like what's the latest and greatest stuff to talk about for this week because we have no idea. Maybe a Nintendo Direct has happened. And you guys are waiting for us to dive deep on that amazing Breath of the Wild 2 trailer and the reveal of Pikmin 4 and F-Zero returning. And unfortunately, we can't talk about any of it because we don't actually know if it happened.
That's what's pro right now, man. That's what's pro. Jeez.
No, dude, they even called it the Pro. What the hell, man? We've been right on the name the whole time.
Crazy. It's insane.
So we obviously can't talk about that if that happened or if it's about to happen tomorrow because we have no idea. Obviously, we still know at this point of recording about the rumored date of the 29th, which I really hope is true because then I actually get to cover it. It's a great way to end the night or great way to end the night, great way to end the month. And obviously, our next podcast episode would be all about it.
Yeah.
So it actually would line up really, really nice since it lands on a Wednesday. But unfortunately, we have no idea. We are not insiders ourselves. So we don't have the privy to the details on this unless Mike is hiding something over there from me. And Charles Matinee just got him on the phone and been like, dude, I'm in voice acting in this new game that's like popping off on the 29th. Check it out. Yeah.
Nah, not yet. Yeah. I'll see what I can get, what info I can get at the end of the month. I'll get the meeting I'm having is before the Direct. So let's see what we can get from there.
Okay. Basically what he's saying is while I'm away, you should be watching his channel because he's going to have all the details that my channel won't because I can't cover news for a week. It's going to be really, really strange. I don't even know what videos are coming out yet at this point. There's a couple discussion videos I sort of have recorded, but whether or not I ever get them edited and ready to go for next week, I have no idea. There will not be daily content. You've probably realized that at this point. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first content you have seen since the live stream when I left on Friday night. So I wouldn't be surprised this is the only content you get all week. I have no idea. Obviously, a bit of a blow to the momentum of the channel because we were going really well. But hey, what I can say is we are trying, to crack that 80,000 subscriber mark. So we got a really cool giveaway plan for that. I don't know if you guys have heard, giving away a Breath of the Wild sword, a Master Sword, a weathered down Master Sword. Yeah, the actual Master Sword. I called Nintendo up and I got a deal done there.
That is crazy, man. Poor Zelda. Poor Link. You know, he's gonna have to defend himself some other way. Maybe get a branch or something.
Unfortunately, they wouldn't give me anything else, so I had to purchase secondhand replicas of the Hylian shield and the Deku shield. I mean, technically, they claim they still had the Deku shield, but it at this point sort of rotted out. I mean, it is made of wood, so I suppose I probably wouldn't want to touch that at this point. But hey, yeah, that is a giveaway we have going on. It's these aren't cheap things, but I really don't care. There is no price on giving back to the community. So, 80K. Let's see if we get there. It'd be sweet if we somehow pull it out before I get back, even though I'm not posting videos. That would be very, very strange and make me wonder if the best thing for my channel is for me not to post anything. Just the podcast on Wednesdays. That's it. Nobody wants to watch anything else.
I'll send my little people down this way so they can keep the channel up and going where you're going.
Also, shout out to all of you guys watching right now. Last week's episode was our #1 most viewed podcast in channel history. So that is really, really great. Haven't told Eric yet. I don't know how I break the news to him that the most viewed podcast episode is one where he wasn't there. But it just so happened to be our #1 viewed podcast ever on the channel. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I think we had over 3,400 people watching here live. It's also the #1 organically viewed, aka not promoted heavily by a giveaway or anything, re-upload on the podcast channel at over 200, 300 views there. I don't know what it is at this point, but I say organic. It's not the most watched episode on that channel, but a lot of those more watched episodes that cracked 1,000 views were due to a giveaway that was promoting watching episodes. There's nothing promoting watching anything anymore, so it's an organically well-viewed episode. It's also one of our most listened to audio versions. Strangely enough, not the most listened to. We have an audio version like back in 2018 with over 1,000 listens. I don't know what the hell happened there. I have no clue because the actual like video version of it didn't even crack 200 views. So I don't know why the audio version blew up. But hey, thank you so much for listening to that really weird episode back in 2018. So yeah, this is our most viewed and listened to collective episode ever. Over 4,000 listens and watches last week. That's incredible. I don't suspect this one's going to be up there, not because you guys aren't watching, but that was a 2.5 hour episode. This is going to be closer to an hour. So that does affect some of the viewership, at least from the live perspective, maybe not the re-upload, because this is going to be weird because this is going to be premiering like a live stream on my channel. And then it's already set to go live on the other channel tomorrow. And the audio version might have already been posted before I even left because there's no way for me to schedule it. So literally the audio version of this episode might be the first thing up. It's weird. This is weird. So maybe you've already heard all of this. I have no idea. That's
true.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. It was great. So in terms of what have you been playing lately? Well, it's only been a couple days since the last episode. So I haven't been playing anything, but I know what I'm going to be playing. And that is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
I am playing that on the plane flight there and on the plane flight back. All the reviews are out there. I've heard a few staggering opinions here and there. All I know is when RGT85 is out there calling this one of the greatest games of all time, I know they did something right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to probably be talking about in the next episode. But for right now, I can't. So I haven't really played anything between now and then because I've just been getting ready to go on my vacation. So, Mike, what have you been playing, I guess, lately in the last couple of days?
Well, gotta go with the same exact game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and my first impression, because I'm actually working on reviewing the game, dude. I just gotta tell you, this is what I gotta tell you, and I'm not gonna give you anything about the game. I'm gonna tell you about what I feel. Okay?
Sure.
They did it. They managed to take me back to my childhood and make me feel the same exact way I felt the very first time I played a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on arcade. Okay, they from the moment that the theme song played, You know, during the gameplay, I played I played at least 3 or 4 of the levels. Man, they managed to take me back, bro. Everything about the game is classic and new at the same time. It's just beautiful. It's just
Yeah, I heard like the intro animation and everything. It's like the best version of Ninja Turtles ever.
Yes.
Like new and old at the same time. And with the music, they had the top tier artist, Wu-Tang Clan supposedly making music for this. Like I don't know what they did, but everybody is just raving on this. Like
I couldn't tell you how I felt, man. I just felt like a kid, man. I felt like a kid when I was listening to that theme song. When I was the visuals, the way they sang it. Because I know they probably resung it, but the way they did it, man, they took me back. They literally took me back, and it was amazing. And I can't wait to get back on it and finish the game. You know, it's awesome. So that's all I'm gonna say about the game because I know you still have to.
We got a cowabunga through this podcast, so you can get back to it.
Yeah, dude. And when you come back, if you're not stranded on a desert island when you live, then we.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. I don't know if I mind being stranded.
I mean, not for you two, but hey, for your primates. You know,
yeah, a lot of you guys out there. I don't know if you're missing me. I have no idea because I can't read the comments on this. Maybe I am. Maybe that's the secret. As I'm sipping Mai Tais, chilling on a beach, I'm like, let me just see what's going on with the live quick. Oh,
live. You know that live Mike and live Nate will be there somewhere in the chat.
Probably. I know that this is I know when this event is happening. I know the time zone differences. Yeah. I will probably be checking in the chat just to see how you guys are feeling. That's awesome. So maybe the infamous other half of Nintendo Prime from his private island might tune into the chat. I don't know what that bastard's doing, but maybe I'll find him. I know it's some island out in the Bahamas. That's all I know.
Yeah.
He's been there for 2 years. So
you talking about Eric?
Maybe we'll find him. What?
You talking about Eric?
Oh no. There is see, I'm Nate, and then there's someone who's actually Nintendo Prime. So you might have the Mike verse going on. I got like 2 different Nintendo Primes going on. It's not a Prime, but it's not a Prime verse. We all exist in the same universe.
Yeah.
He's been coming in and super chatting little tiny amounts for years just to shit talk me. For years, bragging about this island that he bought out in the Bahamas. Well, I'm out there. I'm going to try to find it. I don't know. I don't really control where the cruise ship goes. Just kind of hoping that, you know what, maybe it's close enough to one of our stops and hop on a little ferry, find out. I don't know why he'd have a ferry. It's a private island. So, you know what? I have no idea. No idea.
Island Nate, come back old can and everything.
Yeah, who the hell knows? I mean, even now, I can tell you now, like, you guys are watching this video now. When I come back, the beard has dyed. It's not dyed at the moment because I'm dyeing it tomorrow. Yulia is also dyeing her hair.
Wow.
She's going like super blonde, which she used to do all the time. And then, stopped after we had more kids because who can really keep up with it? And now she's going back to it because, hey, guess what? We're going to be kid free. And she just wants to go back to the younger days. And I guess so am I, although I didn't have the beard in the younger days. But I guess it'll be what my beard would have looked like in my younger days.
What are you dyeing it to, red?
No, I'm not going. If it grows out all the way, it does get some red in it. But no, it's probably just a dark brown, dark brown. Which is what it mostly would have been if I had the same look like 10 years ago.
Cool. That's awesome, man.
I've had the look on my channel before, although sometimes I bought the wrong thing and it went full black. But it's cool. Yeah. It still looks all right. It just looks like I painted it on. Not a big deal.
Dude,
I painted on beards.
I got my beard dyed one time, man. I look like a freaking cartoon.
Yeah. So like I've tried to find a place that will like do it professionally.
Yeah.
It just doesn't exist in my area. If I was in a bigger city, there are places that'll do it for you. And like what's nice when they do it is they get it all perfect. There's nothing on your skin. They get it perfect, so it's just the hair. And then it looks really, really good. If you ever see Hollywood actors, like, oh yeah, they probably have great hair. Yeah, they got all that taken care of by professionals, and it looks really damn good. You can get that done. My area is too small, so we don't have any place that does that. So I have to do it myself, which is fine. But in order to get it to look like I can get it so it's only where my hair is, but to make it look natural, you have to sit there with like an alcohol scrub and sit there and just reef on your face for like an hour to get it off the skin in between the hairs. And it's just, it's a pain in the ass. But it does look really good when it's done. But man, it's a pain in the ass. So we'll see how it looks. The hair will be technically dyed a little bit. It's not going to really look much different though. And I'm wearing a hat most of the time. You guys probably won't even notice that part. But it's just going to make sure it all kind of matches because it'll be a little bit darker than it is now. Anyways, that's that. And by the way, so if you see that guy on camera, that is not that's me. That's not the other Prime. That's me. That being said, I have no idea. At this point, I've probably posted a few pictures on Twitter or some other places, thanking all of you guys yet again for me being on this amazing vacation. It was literally all paid for out of YouTube. Out of all of our super chats and all of our memberships and the ad revenue. Granted, we technically paid for most of it over a year ago, but COVID's a fun thing. So that being said, we have a couple topics to talk about. The first one is interesting because we know the Mario movie's coming next year. We know I don't think we know every voice actor, but we know all of the major voice actors. There'll probably be some minor roles that we won't find out till the credits roll, but we know all the big names because they're advertising the big names. Right? You got Jack Black in there, and so some other people that that might be in a new movie coming out soon. And hey, Charles Martinet, like he's going to be playing a small role in it as well, just to make sure they pay homage to the OG Mario voice actor, and by the way, voice actor of many other characters, not just Mario. So. It's kind of cool that we are getting that movie. Again, we still no breaking details on it as far as I'm aware, unless something dropped while I was gone. Then I really apologize if they dropped the Mario movie trailer and whatever. We're not really going to be talking about the Mario movie, though. So it's okay. So there was an article that came out last year. Miyamoto just was talking in general about the Mario movie and how it's almost done. Ironically, it's delayed, but hey, it's almost done. And in there he mentioned that there was going to kind of sort of be almost a Nintendo universe of movies. He didn't use that terminology, but we all know that's what fans will end up doing, the Nintendo verse. And that there was going to be other characters and other IPs exploring movies and even TV potentially. And we know like the obvious one right now is the rumored Donkey Kong movie, which that would be led by Seth Rogen as DK. That's fine. I think a lot of people feel like that's probably going to end up being the next movie after this. Like if this one's actually done right now and they're just timing it for a different spot, then they're probably already working on the DK movie. And that's fine. Like that's cool. It makes sense. Those are two like the OG characters, Nintendo arcade days. I get it. But he made it sound like there was going to be a lot more of these. And then obviously they would tackle them one at a time. I think he was just tempering expectations that don't expect this to be like Marvel, where they'll drop like 2 or 3 movies in a year. Like that's just not what they're going to do. And then also multiple TV shows, at least not now. I mean, if it does blow up really, really huge, Sonic has gotten pretty big. I have a feeling they're making Sonic 3 while making the Knuckles movie same time. That's one of those that like at the beginning here, they need to see the revenue and all that come in before they can, dedicate more teams and more time to really making it all at once. But for now, they're going to be taking it one IP at a time. And it makes me wonder, like, Mike, what IPs do you want to see them go? I mean, obviously, we assume maybe some more of the Mario stuff because Mario then DK. Maybe they spin off and do a Princess Peach movie or something. But is there anything else? Because like you talked about movies and TV, didn't really go much into animation. But obviously, we know this movie's animated. Will there be any live action potential stuff? Where do you think they're going with the whole future of this stuff after, say, the Mario and DK movies?
Yeah, and that's a good question because it all depends on what happens in this Mario movie because
if it bombs, DK might never come out.
I mean, the thing is that Donkey Kong is in this movie, so we have the monkey in this movie. So what type of movie is this? Is this in Mario verse movie, or is this like a Mario movie kind of? Mario is well, we know DK's role. If do you remember that supposed Mario movie leak? Yeah. So if that leak is true, then we already know his role, and it's a little bit disappointing
to be honest.
I really didn't see the leak.
Oh, I don't want to go too much into it just in case it's true, but I'll just say that basically he meets DK and a bunch of other monkeys down in the sewers.
Okay, that's not cool.
Yeah, it's a really weird way to put DK in the movie. It's fun. I'm sure it'll be funny. I'm sure they have it all worked out. You know, whatever. Like Mario's going down a pipe. Okay, cool, whatever. But I don't know. It was really weird. What, like, I'm sure you guys have, if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, literally just look up Mario movie plot leak, and the general gist of it is, I don't know if it's been proven false yet, and if it hasn't, that it came from a pre-screening, which that happens with test audiences. Yeah. So it's possible that it's true. It's also possible that it's not true. I don't know. We talked about it on the channel a while back, but again, we don't know if it's actually true, and it doesn't tell you everything. So I don't know. Like they're clearly introducing DK in some way, which could lead to being spun off into its own movies.
I mean, it depends of whether the Donkey Kong movie is a spin-off out of this one, or if it's its own movie.
Origin. Could be an origin story too.
Yeah. And then of course I'm pretty sure it's gonna be animated too.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, but I mean, of course, Marvel set the stage for everybody to kind of look and this is how you do it, kind of way. We have so many characters, so many IPs that are super incredibly amazing. Not all of them deserve brand new movies. Some of them can be a series. They could have a
TV miniseries on Netflix or something.
Yeah, that is like a movie. You know what I mean? The major IPs, Mario, Pokemon, Zelda, they need. I mean, Pokemon already had a movie. I'm not sure.
Pokemon's got movies and animated shows already, so
yeah,
I'm not sure they're going to go down that route with Pokemon.
Yeah,
could be some cameos. But.
Yeah, and whether they would, if they are, let's say, building a Nintendo cinematic universe where it could kind of all connect together. Would they consider the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movies as part of this or completely separately?
Yeah, but will they treat because he talked about animation or live action, live action animation. I mean, we've seen those combined in different ways. Roger Rabbit and obviously Detective Pikachu and stuff. But would they cross over live action with the animation, or would they just make it all animation? So it all I bring that up because personally, as a big Zelda guy, I kind of don't want to see Zelda animated. I'd rather be a live action series.
Yeah, me too. I think
that's like the one IP, and maybe even that in Metroid possibly. I like the two IPs. I think that live action makes a ton of sense for. You can get a whole sci-fi thing going. You get the whole high fantasy, and it could be incredible if done right. Mario makes a ton of sense as animated. Ton of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I see Zelda like I see there's this HBO series, what's it called again?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings also like a big giant massive production of a movie or a TV series. Dude, can you imagine? But then again, we have to see Link speak, which is not impossilike in a way.
Mario's going to be talking a ton, and he's only ever said a few things. So
in a way, he kind of does is just that because he's made in kind of a first person. He's you. Then I understand why Link doesn't talk is because he in a way we're Link. We're Link.
I wrote an article on this a long time ago about guess what? Link's been speaking this entire time.
Yeah.
You just don't hear him because it's you. You can see people ask him, "Oh, what's your name?" And all of a sudden "Oh, you're Link." He just told him his name. You just didn't hear him talk because you're thinking I'm Link. You're speaking for him. So it's a gameplay mechanic, but Link isn't actually a mute, guys. He talks all the time. Holds conversations in the games.
Yeah. Yeah, even in Breath of the Wild, we see him moving his hands and his kind of gestures and everything. Like he's actually talking to somebody, but it's actually us. We're talking to them. That's why there's no voice, so that we can kind of be the controlling force of Link. And that's why. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's why some fans are afraid too, because even when they could admit that Link has talked, well, we've always been Link. So how can we give him a voice? Because that's not gonna match most of us. And it's hey, you gotta start. It's kind of like the Mario movie. Hey. Who would have thought the voice actor of Mario would have been who he is? So you have to sometimes separate it out from here's the way that you view it in a game. This isn't a game. And I think that's best to try to separate the games from the movies and shows, because the movies and shows need to be their own thing, because the games don't translate to movies. It just, it doesn't. We've seen this a lot where they've tried to translate games to movies. Doesn't work. The best video game adapted stuff doesn't really follow the games. You know, as an example, even like the Witcher series. Yeah, it's following the books. It's not following the games. Because the books make a more compelling production than the games would. And that's with games that have an incredible story. So like, you know, even look at Sonic movies. Sonic 1, those aren't based off of the video games. Since when can you throw rings and teleport anywhere? Like that's not how Sonic works. But that's how, like, they created their own thing, and that, and it's loosely based. Like, you know, you have obviously Jim Carrey as Eggman. Like, yeah, the mustache looks a little bit like Dr. Eggman. Yeah, there's a loose connection to the games, but it's still its own thing. And I think that's what we're about to see with the Mario movie, and would see with any live action Zelda or anything like it. Like, we have to detach what we expect from games to the movies, and I think Sonic has just really paved the path to show that's how you do it. We have to create our own story, our own universe, and do our own thing, loosely based on some of the things in the games.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's possible. It's very, very possible that even if the Mario movie is animated, it all depends on the way they animate it and what's involved in the story, that it can actually cross over with other characters in the future. If we have a massive Smash Brothers movies at the end, where the Nintendo universe is at stake and they have to go into this tournament in Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you know, with Smash Brothers, dude, every single Nintendo fan wants to see an ultimate Smash Brothers movie where all these characters come together. You know what I mean? Something has to happen with the entire. Man, can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
I don't even know how that, like. But especially if they make it like Smash Ultimate style and they're bringing in all those third party characters. I like how.
Yeah.
How you know how many voice actors you need, how many studios, how much permission, how many different ways the money is going to be split. How. But you know what? It would be really, really like it's kind of funny because Nintendo does sort of have it set up where, hey, all of our characters come together in this one thing that could be our Avengers. And we we have multiple of those things, so we could have multiple Avenger style movies. And technically, guys, the Smash Bros. Series does have a story.
Yeah, and we don't have.
I don't know how many people know the story, but it does have a story.
I don't know the story.
Yeah, most people don't, because it's more about the gameplay than anything, which is true of most of Nintendo's IPs. So.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't have to be the first movie. Doesn't have to be Ultimate Smash Brothers. It could be Smash Brothers Melee or something. You know what I mean? Like
or Smash 64. Where it's like eight major characters come together from different IPs. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you never know, man. I mean, that's the thing. It's all in the imagination of who makes it and who writes it and makes sure they do it right, and then whoever directs it does it the right way too. I mean,
and as I say, we've seen animated crossover with live action before. You know, I'll never forget Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like that was straight up just cartoon animation in the real world, and that was bad. That was badass. Like I really enjoyed that. So that kind of proves that if you do it right, you could still have that sort of crossover. You know.
Yeah, and even recently with the movie with Chip and Dale.
Yeah, some people are a little iffy on that one, but yeah, that one was.
I like that. I like the
animation worked. I didn't have a problem with the animations in the real world. That was all fine. But
the cameos, the ugly Sonic, man, that was hilarious. It was just more a punchline.
Sonic. Man. Bringing back the Sonic that was never supposed to come out. That was funny. That was absolutely hilarious. Like, hey, look, they found a way to reuse that thing that they deleted.
Yeah,
that nightmare fuel.
I want people clamoring for all these ugly Sonic series.
Oh yeah, probably you debut on Netflix. It'll probably be seen by millions. Become number one watch for a week.
Right.
Yeah. So we can see DK coming off of it. You know, maybe Zelda because it's really becoming a big deal.
Yeah.
And we've seen animated shorts before. Like Pikmin had an animated short series.
Yeah, I see Pikmin as an animated series. Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah, and like
And Animal Crossing.
yeah, would Animal Crossing could like that do really well? Animal Crossing, I mean, billion ways you can run Animal Crossing. It's just people living their life, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You make a drama out of that, the Tom Nook drama.
Yeah, that's true. And this places a question: will Nintendo offer a streaming service for their shows, like their actual shows and cinematic movies?
It's interesting because they're going right now. They're using Illumination, and they have their own streaming service. So I think the Mario movie would probably just go there, but they got to think long haul. You know, Pokemon is on their own stuff, but also goes to Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they probably at some point want to bring Pokemon into the fray in some sort of crossover. So it's going to be interesting to think, like, what do they do? You know, do they just let it exist on these services, but also have a central service, or do they Disney Plus? Hey, we're going to create our own service one day, and no one else can have our stuff, because that's what Disney did. They yanked everything.
Yeah, or they can go to one of these already streamers, and they can have one portion to themselves. The Nintendo Cinematic Universe have their own little tab. Click on all their movies there. Just like Disney has Marvel and has Star Wars. Like when you click Disney Plus, they have all these different worlds.
Yeah, different IPs that you can go to. Yeah.
So they might sign a contract with one of these streaming services where they have their own section for Nintendo.
Well, I'll say this: I don't want Nintendo to launch a new service because them and online is just never a good mix. Go with the people that know what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
You don't want to go with Disney. That's totally fine. It makes sense. You are partnered with Universal Studios. Like, you should probably do something with them. They got their own services. You can put it on. Figure something out. I know right now Universal puts most of their properties out on Netflix. So it would be interesting if they just go the Netflix route. Because then they could also, that pairs up nicely with Pokemon. I know Netflix would obviously love to get all the Nintendo characters locked in onto their IP. You know, if you have Sonic going Paramount Plus and stuff, like, okay, let's get Nintendo stuff here. That would be a really big boon for Netflix, who's looking for anything to help boost their stuff beyond their own content. Because Netflix is doing, I think, a pretty good job with their own content, but where they're struggling is they're losing everyone else to their own services. So to be able to like lock in something with Universal and get all the Nintendo stuff over would be. Did you think they're going to use Universal for all of it, or are they going to spread it around to multiple studios? No,
I think so because they have a multi-million deal with Universal in the theme parks. They want to keep it all under the same family. And the movies, we can find movie merch in theme parks as well from the movies. So if Universal is doing all the distribution. I feel like Universal. What do they have? Peacock?
Yeah, I think it's Peacock. Pretty sure. I'll double check.
Yeah. So whatever. Yeah, I feel like more going to Peacock if that's Universal's thing than anything else, because Universal and Nintendo are becoming kind of tight when it comes to the thing. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, Peacock. New Universal films stream exclusively on Peacock. So new ones. Some of their old ones are still on Netflix, it says, but all stuff moving forward from December on will be Peacock. So that's probably where Mario would go, and then it's Peacock. Yeah. Now, I don't know how big Peacock is.
It's good.
It's a newer service, obviously.
It's my go-to. Like more than Netflix, because there they have The Office, they got Parks and Rec, they got WWE, they got all the WWE shows there and everything. And
I'm on their website right now. See, they're like the only ones I'm not subscribed to.
Yeah,
which is strange.
And yeah, they got
they got anything live on NBC as part of it.
Yeah. So whenever to me it's my go-to because I watch The Office a lot.
They're doing the OG Hulu route. Hulu doesn't even do this anymore. You can watch stuff for free just with ads.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. And then you pay like for $4 to get the ads removed.
Yeah, $5 to get limited ads. Yeah. And then it's $10. It's completely ad free. Plus, you get to, because you don't gain the ability to download titles without the complete ad free programs. That's like their big thing is, hey, you get ad free. Plus, you can download and watch offline. But that's cool. Well, I'm gonna have to sign up for a Peacock, and I didn't know it was actually free. What do you get with it? You also get 40,000 hours of hit movies, TV shows, and more. There must be some stuff locked behind premium. Oh, Like the U.S. Open is a lot behind premium. The Rutherford Falls is a lot behind premium as well.
Yeah, and then whenever there's a movie that goes straight to Peacock, there's a movie like a brand new movie, like Firestarter is a brand new movie that just came out there. I think the first month was locked behind, and then it went over to the rest.
Yeah, it says you also get next day access to current NBC and Bravo hits. So like current shows running on television the day after the episode debuts, you can watch it.
Exactly. That's what I like about it, because when I can't watch a show on TV, nobody watches a show on TV live anymore that much.
It is crazy though that they do have a free. So, I mean, this is OG Hulu. This is what made Hulu blow up in the first place. Was you could pay, but you could also just watch everything with ads. And that was like a really cool thing, and Peacock really brought that back. That's damn. Yeah. I might have to get my account, at least a free account.
We gotta get Peacock to sponsor one of these episodes. Let's talk about them a little bit.
Oh, sponsorships. So yeah, dude, a funny story on sponsorships. I had this. I won't name the exact place, but this comic book distribution website contacted me, right? And they're like, hey, we want to work with you. I'm like, okay, cool. And they showed me some of their best-selling comics or whatever. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, we'd like to just give you some free comics to advertise. Nah, I'm good. I'm like, I got a family. Comics don't pay the bills. I'm sorry. Like, I do like comics, guys, but just... So a lot of you out there would be like, I'd take free comic. I totally understand. By the way, they didn't have... The ones they were offering me were the dating variety. So, I mean, if that's what you're into, cool. But I'm not. I'm currently not into dating novels when I'm about to get married. But you know, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. No problem. They had some other ones, some anime series I actually recognize and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so they wanted me to contact them on WhatsApp, and I told them, I am never making a WhatsApp account. If you guys ever see a comment claiming to be me in the comment section from WhatsApp, it's not me. I refuse to even look at the app. And I told them, I'm sorry, I have people on my YouTube getting scammed by people on WhatsApp. I'm not joining WhatsApp. Like, it's not happening. And then they're like, okay, fine. Well, then we'll make a deal through email. We'll pay you $2 to post a community post and put an ad in a video. And I'm like,
$2.
$2. That wasn't worth my time to read your email. I'm not trying to be mean here, but like, all my sponsorship deals are in the hundreds, and you're offering $2.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So guys, if you wonder why I haven't had any sponsored content in a while, that's my most recent offer. And that's I think just saying that $2 thing right now probably already got a $2 super chat from somebody that isn't sponsoring me already in the chat while watching this. So like, look guys, thank you so much for the $2 maybe there's more than $2 now at this point now that I brought it up. You guys are sponsoring me way the hell more. In fact, you guys are absolutely incredible. Holy crap. We're at like 590 members or something. We might be past 600 by now. I have no idea what happened on the Friday stream that hasn't happened yet at the time I'm recording this. We might be past 600 members. Just glancing at memberships alone in this month, guys, I know we have gifted members, so it's really insane right now. You guys have provided over $1,800 in revenue to the channel just from members. That is, you guys are my number one sponsor, not these other companies. You guys sponsor me. So yeah, that comic book place, by the way, I'm not going to say it name. Maybe you guys end up liking that place. It's fine. I just thought it was kind of weird. And I told them, really? $2 is what you're coming at a nearly 80,000 subscriber channel for? I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was being offered more than that when I had 1,000 subscribers. So,
yeah.
So, like, the people usually don't take you seriously when it's a $2 offer. I'm like, yeah, all right. I don't really care about your brand so much that I want to be associated with you for $2. I'm good. Oh, did you hear the crap with G Fuel?
What happened to G Fuel?
Oh, man. So I've been trying to get sponsored by them for a while, right?
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy the drink itself. And like, beat 'em ups and others are massively sponsored by them. Well, G Fuel went ahead and fired a whole bunch of their represented team members of the partnership program. So the people who are sponsored by them actually talk to. Like, they don't talk directly to the corporate. They talk to the team handles partnerships. Well, a bunch of them got fired, and then they came out and basically immediately upon fire said, that's really interesting that we showed up to work today and didn't have our jobs, considering that there was like they filed basically a complaint again in HR. All these team members filed a joint complaint in HR about abuse in the workplace, and they were trying to keep this hush hush and just have it dealt with internally, and then they just show up and don't have their jobs. So like all the content creators are now like yanking G Fuel out of their stuff, being like, "Hey, we're done. Nobody use our discount codes anymore. Doesn't matter." And like, yeah, dude, that's the thing with the sponsorship deals, guys. You got to be careful because you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
You don't know who you like the saying said, you don't know who you're getting in bed with. So it's bad. Yeah, I see here that Beat 'em Up took it out of their Twitter. It's no longer there at all.
And he ripped it. He went live today on a live stream on Twitch, and he ripped all the stuff out of his Twitch streams, and he just talked about it briefly. He's like, "Yeah, I got two people that I was talking with directly there. They magically don't have jobs today. No one said a word to me about anything because I have no one to communicate with, and they expect me to just keep promoting their product, and I'm not taking any more money. I'm done with them." And like a whole bunch of creators are now just yanking out. It'd be interesting to see what happens with like PewDiePie, who actually has an actual G Fuel drink made after him. Like, is he gonna back out? You know, because I'm sure he's getting paid a pretty penny to have his name associated with G Fuel. Dude, this is the thing about sponsorships you guys don't realize is there's very little we know about what's like Ghoulie Kit, right? Like they sent us all those controllers. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes of that company.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like I'm just grateful to them, and I like to assume the best out of everyone. But all these companies are all about making money and not necessarily about treating people correctly. So it's difficult dealing with this kind of stuff. You know, hey, okay, I got the connector at Apple. I'm trying to get them to sponsor me forever, but you know. It just doesn't happen. So like I'm always open to sponsorships. Like, you know, we joked on during Prime Gaming Fest, hey, we want Dr. Pepper to sponsor us for their new dark berry flavor. And it's like, I actually would be cool. Like I've been looking for a drink sponsor forever, but I'm really glad that like I had an initial email with G Fuel like a month ago and they wanted to talk more. And I was hearing a couple of rumblings that behind the scenes, and I was like, well, I'm gonna wait and just see what happened. And then all of a sudden this all blew up today, and I was like, well, really glad that I didn't progress with that and take, you know, they were going to offer over $1,000 and see, at least when I say my community is my number one sponsor is look, if one of you individually is a bad person, that doesn't really affect all the other people that are sponsoring my channel. So, you know, and I probably never will find out if you're a bad person or not because you're not a global brand. So,
I'm reading here, Beat 'em Up says he did a statement on Twitter about the G Fuel thing happening, that he asked people not to use his code anymore until G Fuel comes up and
yeah, like they haven't made any statements on it. They haven't talked to any of the creators. They're not talking publicly about what's going on. They're not talking about, you know, admitting any faults. And apparently, this was a red flag people probably should have saw was something that. Because G Fuel's been a sponsor of Drama Alert channel for a long time. Whatever. I don't really care what Keemstar and Drama Alert. But Keemstar said something on a live stream while wearing G Fuel merchandise that was just absolutely abhorrent and he had to apologize for. And of course, G Fuel didn't drop the sponsorship. And it kind of gives you an idea of like, hey, if they were okay with him saying that and not dropping them, then.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing I think if a company has a long-standing relationship with you, wants to give you a second chance. But like someone like Keemstar said several controversial things. So it's kind of like, you know, you clearly have been okay with that behavior for years. So that makes you wonder about the internals. But then all of a sudden you see Beat 'em Ups, who a lot of people find to be really wholesome and genuine and nice. And he's constantly pubbing, you know, hey, sponsored by G Fuel. You know, yeah, I got to have my G Fuel. Got to have, and like, so you're like, well, this is so weird because like you have the exact opposite imagery being presented. You know, trying to play both sides of the coin is usually not the way to go. And so, and it's just G Fuel for now. Who knows? Like, we've seen a lot of this. Activision Blizzard obviously get busted for a bunch of stuff. You know, Ubisoft earlier. So, like, man, that's the thing. And I just wanted to bring this up because, you know, guys, I don't care if I get sponsorships or not. Like, I'm on the list for a couple of sponsorships with some indie games coming up. And I don't know if they're going to come through or not, but it's one of those that like I seen some people angry with some content creators today about being, you know, not saying anything yet. Like PewDiePie hadn't said anything yet. And I'm like, let's let's remember that us content creators know very little about what's we just know what's available on the internet. We do our research. It's a reputable company, been around a long time. Their products are available at every store. You don't think anything of it. You know, it'd be like me taking a deal from Pepsi. Like, you don't think anything of it. And they're offering you really, really good money. And everyone who buys the drink ends up liking it. So you don't feel like you're giving people a raw deal because it's a good product. That's a good tasting product anyway. So try not to judge content creators harshly for mistakes being made by the companies that sponsor them, unless those content creators are coming out and defending those actions.
Yeah, and especially when the company is big enough to have several departments, several areas. Like, for example, right now it's about people who handle content creators, those people there. It could be as small as their department was being basically not handled correctly by whoever was in charge of that department. You know what I mean? And then the entire company doesn't have to pay for that, for the sins of those few managers who'd like to take advantage of their position and be a little bit excessive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the content creator is just guilty by association. And it's like, well, they didn't control any of it. So I'm going to say be a little fair to content creators out there. You know, we even mentioned before, like, just even just talking about beat 'em ups, like when he had the Satisfy grip promotion, like, yeah, some people got the wrong grip.
Yeah.
It's not Wood's fault. Even though he thought my video was blaming him, I wasn't actually blaming him. It's not his fault. I was saying that Satisfy, should have done a little bit better to make sure that never happened in the first place. There shouldn't have been the wrong one sent out. We know that obviously mistakes happen, but it was multiple people that got the wrong one.
I was one of them, and the it wasn't even Wood's fault. They gave him a link so that he can share on his YouTube account.
They oversold how many they had is really what happened.
That link led to a page where you could see the beat 'em up script. You would add to cart and purchase, but somewhere around the line, the communication with the website assigned a whole bunch of them to the regular grip, and then some of them to the beat 'em up script. So I'm pretty sure he himself actually reached out to them, I'm guessing, and then trying to figure out, but it was not his fault at all. He was just sponsored by them. He was in a privileged place of getting that grips made in his name for using.
Oh yeah, it was a big honor. Like like me, you guys know I've worked with Skull and Company, and if they want to contact me and work on a joint grip one day, that would just be an honor. Like to have my branding be on a real product that people can buy. Like that's just like that's like an I made it moment. Like you've really made it in your field when literally it's not your own merchandise. It's a major company reaching out and wanting, like with PewDiePie being on G Fuel, like wanting to have your brand that much associated with theirs. It's an honor because that's a high level of respect. And that's why I said in my video, I'm like, hey, I don't think Satisfy did it on purpose, and it's not Wood's fault at all. But it would, we can only do so much in contacting customer support. It would be nice. Like the only thing I said, I think that you could maybe he didn't like, because I said, it would be nice if he made a public statement about it and recognized that some people would say, oh, I know I'm aware some people got the wrong thing. I sent an email to him and just kind of left it at that because he's not going to deal with it on the individual basis, but just to acknowledge it. Hey, yeah, I know there was a mistake. It's okay. The Satisfy will take care of you, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't think he actually watched the video, to be honest. He just saw the thumbnail and thought I was just bitching about him. I'm like, no, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally was on his live stream when he was raising money for depression. And I donated like over $300. So I don't know. It's one of those things that I think I'm too small time. He doesn't really pay close enough attention, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it is what you do, but continue your own path and try to form your own.
So one last thing I just wanted to briefly get to, briefly, because we're kind of running up on the clock here. Give me one expectation for a unannounced movie and or TV series that you think Nintendo's going to do, say in the next 5 years, and then one unannounced expectation for a potential direct if it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so we already know about the Mario movie, so I'm just gonna go straight to the Legend of Zelda, and I don't want it to be a movie. I want it to be a series. I want to enjoy.
You want it limited, or do you want it to be like full seasons, like multiple seasons?
No, I want it to be a couple of seasons. Even if it's an 8-episode season, I need it needs to be.
So you want it to be like an actual series that's going to continue, not just be a one.
Yeah.
Not be like Obi-Wan, where they do 6 episodes and they're done. You want them to know there's going to be more. Yeah.
No, I so Zelda is the Legend of Zelda is so massive. There's so much that could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was surprised when they said Obi-Wan would just be a limited series. I'm like, really? I feel like you have something here that you can run for like 3 seasons. But
it's so crazy. I think that they're doing an like a cinematic universe where they're all gonna join in at one point.
Probably you're probably not wrong there.
yeah. But and then Nintendo Direct, new IP or Zelda port. New IP or Zelda port.
Ooh.
When I mean port, I mean either a remake,
yeah. Like Zelda, like Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, something.
Yeah. Or a new IP, New IP.
Would this be an internally made IP, or would it be like a platinum or like a third party IP that they pay?
Nah, Nintendo new IP, completely brand new IP from Nintendo. And
Codename Steve.
Codename Zelda clone. I'm gonna call it.
Dude, why don't they have more action adventure games, man?
Something. One more, man. One more.
You have a billion different platformer games, but only one action adventure series. Like,
yeah.
At one point you had a bunch of racers too. Like, can we get more than one action adventure series? That would be wonderful. Yeah, thanks.
Racers, fighters, there's everything, but we need one more Zelda.
Well, technically, they only have one fighter now.
I mean, take a character, maybe spin off the Legend of Zelda with a character and just make it its own thing and then have it evolve.
I mean, they did that with Tingle, technically.
Who? Tingle? Who's Tingle?
Who's Tingle? Tingle's basically me at this point. I used to make jokes about it, but now I'm the guy in the 30s wearing spandex with red balloons and making maps for my children. So I guess I become the new Tingle these days. That's right, everybody. Face reveal. I'm the new. This is what Tingle looks like. No costume.
That's hilarious.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. This episode of Untitled Prime Podcast. Nice and short and sweet for you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Again, I have no idea if I have videos planned or anything coming up. This is Wednesday. I'll be coming back in town sometime at some point on Saturday. I have no idea, or Sunday. Either way, you probably won't see me until the following Monday. So let's hope that, hey, if the direct hasn't happened yet, that it's coming on the 29th. And if not, then who knows? Bob's your uncle. So, guys, catch you guys in the next episode, guys.
All right, peace.